Hi, my name is Corey, and I'm a rock hound, and an artist, and an engineer, an inventor, and I like to teach people what I do because I believe that we're all here for a purpose, and if you know what your gift is, you should give it away. That's why I call my studio Gifted Workshop. And I like to figure out how to do things and show people, to give random gifts to people just to make their day. I kind of feel like for this year, my goal is to touch 1,000 people's lives in a small way, just because the world needs it right now, and we've been through a lot. So do that. Take by that example, I hope. That's all that I'm looking for in doing my videos and showing people what I do, is just to hope that in some small way we can show that we're together in the world. So for this project, I'm going to do a wire wrap, and I'm not an expert. I've just learned by videos and trying it out, and it's really something that's can be difficult to do, but it's very approachable. It doesn't cost a lot to get into doing wire wrapping. You need some simple tools, a couple pairs of pliers, some wire, and some stone, and don't have to pick expensive wire, and you can pick up these stones from a parking lot, really. And I find that it's a simple thing to do to make something beautiful and that will be a treasure for someone. And my preference is to give them away. I wear them for a while and then I give them to people. So the project today is a little more complicated than some. I'd call it a medium complexity project. We're going to be using prongs to hold the stone, and then adding a little embellishment to it. So here's a picture of the finished piece. We should show that so you can see what it looks like before we're done. And I just sat down and wrapped a stone and talked about what it was and how I did it. So I'm hoping that you find it enjoyable. If you like the video, all I ask is that you make a comment or like it, because that helps the different places that I post this video. It helps the whatever channel that it is know that people like the video, and then it shows it to more people. So if you like what you see in the video, please say something. If there's any way that I can improve the video, let me know. And if you have questions, I'm here. I'll check in every once in a while, and if you need some help, I'd be glad to help. So enjoy. Okay, so here are the tools that I'm going to use. A pair of pliers. I have a flat on them. These pliers. This is just a general pair of needle mouse. I have my cutter tool. I highly recommend that you get one of these, although it's not necessary. Little anvil, hammer for the anvil, square wire to go around it. I believe this is 12 gauge, and 22 gauge round copper wire. So the first thing that I'm going to do So now I have kind of the plan of what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is work from the center out. So here's your center line. And the trick is to getting this started. One of the tricks is to take this flat. It's okay if you don't like how it starts. Basically, you trim that part off. Now, see, I've trimmed it on this side. This becomes the inside. I want to make all my trims on the inside, and that'll be important later. I'm going to pull this very outside wire out. I'm going to go 5 wraps. Then I'm going to push them in. Now I'm going to take my rounded ones. I'm going to give myself just a little baby bump out. Overlay feature later on for this. What I'm going to do here, and I'm just going to start with my hand. Everything back in a straight line, and I'm cutting it off about in the center of the back. Remember, I told you earlier, remember what side is your back, because you always want to cut it on the back side, that way you don't have loose wires floating around later. So now I'm just adding into the piece. Starting from holding it on the back side, 3 times around, pushing it in as I go. Now I'm addressing the end of this in relationship to the one that was trimmed already, to try and make them meet up nicely. So what I have to do here is pay attention to how far I'm going to hit that next one. Getting there, I'm gonna go 10 more. Now I'm making a prong again. See? We've done this before. And you'll note here, sometimes I bend them a little further out because it keeps them tight at the point. So once you get started, you can pull the other ones in. So I'm paying attention to what's the back, starting by holding it from the back. Okay, so now to the point I'm at, I would call this halfway. Start at the center, worked my way out. Center, out. Now I can count. So what that does is that tells me how many times to go around and do each step. And in theory, the 2 sides should match. 20 times. I had 20 done. I let the wire go a little loose, but that's fine. So as I'm wrapping around, I'm trying to make sure not to overlap them. Like I just had to make a little adjustment. What's 5? See, like right there, it just wants to overlap to the past one. You don't want to do that. Not that it's the worst, but it doesn't look really clean when you do that. So 10. On the bottom side, I'm going to take, leaving an itty bitty space at the end of the pliers. And so what you can do is start bending these away. I'm gonna start doing more of a bend. Looks like I've wrapped it far enough to be happy. It's better to bend it right the first time than to unbend it and do it again, so I don't want. This other wire, just pulling it back. I want to leave it on there. I'm gonna make my feature width that goes across the front. I'm actually bending them out to the sides. I don't like cutting my wires too short, so I'll cut them multiple times as I'm bending them around. So now I can just finesse them a little bit. So, back 2 wires. Front 2 wires kind of be in my way for a minute. Now I'm gonna make a bail with what was the middle 2 wires. So you can notice I made a nice V pattern, cross over to the back. So just keep doing this over and over again. So, since I left off on that side, I'm gonna add the wire to this side, so it kind of balances. 1. Now I'm starting to make the turn. Now I'm gonna point the back. I'm pretty happy with the shape of this. So I've kind of bent it around. These 2 wires are the ends. And I shoved it in there really good. I'm done with a thin wire. Really, honestly, you could end it here. This time I'm gonna go 5 times around. 1, just messing with the prongs a little, they're kind of getting in my way, so. Getting close to the end here, so I'm going to use this little got a little sloppy at the end of it. It's okay. It's pretty tight, so it's hard to get it in there. So I'm just twisting around. I'm gonna do little curly cues on the end. Sometimes when I'm doing these curly cues, there'll be a little flat spot on it. So I get it started and then I cut the flat spot off.